Hello, everyone. How are you? I hope you're doing well. In this presentation, I'm actually going to give a few updates as to the now very famous Chat GPT. And ChatGPT is an app that's owned by OpenAI. And the history on this is actually OpenAI was started a few years ago, some years ago. It didn't just start, but it started really as a meant to be for the community and therefore free. Eventually, Microsoft joined them, and now I think because they have to really take care of um, some costs, especially servers. They've said because it serves around the world, as far as I know for now. So they have introduced some new things, and that's what we're going to talk about. So I want to first talk about myself. This is as effective from actually February 1st, which was yesterday. However, this is going to be for today, which I say as of February today because things are moving so fast. All right, so we go on to the next slide. I just want to tell you a little bit about me, myself. So, my name is Rachel Kaiser, and I'm a professional. I've been in the healthcare industry for over 20 years, and I've worked as a senior healthcare consultant. However, when I started, really, I started on the technical side. So, I was a senior developer, software engineer, and also slash a business analyst. In other words, I did both the technical side and the business side, so I was able to talk to both sides of that equation. In other words, I could at least get business specs and translate them into technical um, specs, and then be able to develop or help our clients to get the solutions that we're looking for. So, and when I did this, I lived in Boston, Mass, and that's where I really started this career in healthcare IT. Prior to that, actually, that's where I lived. Um, so, talking about that, also, I have over 16 years in healthcare project management. I use this a lot actually as I was working with our clients. As I said, I was a software engineer, and I use that a lot. So it could even be over 20 years. But officially, when I really trained in this area, got certified both as a PMP, but then prior to that, also certification really from a university program. I do also have 20 years of digital applications and solutions. I'm very, very, very interested in this area. And currently, I'm getting more really into the healthcare innovation space. What I mean by this is just really learning new innovations that are happening in healthcare. So those are areas that I'm very interested in. Okay. So going back to our, okay, just give me a minute. All right, so what's our agenda for today? So going on our agenda for today, really at a high level, I'm going to talk about what GPT is, that's ChatGPT. I'm going to give a brief overview of the planned release and the initial version and what they meant that to be. Updates to the current GPT AI tool, other tools that have been developed by the same company, OpenAI, and then use cases, and then Q&A. So one very thing to note, I'm going to put this actually in different areas of my online presence, which is the channels, but specifically talking about LinkedIn, I'm going to put it in the featured channels, but featured area. What I want to stress though, that's why I put this, is within AI and within this open AI, things are moving so fast. So I want people to be aware of that and not say, hey, you posted something old. Some of this may be new, but something could be added tomorrow. But it doesn't take away from the updates that have been happening. I've really gone a bit in depth on some of this research, the things that I've put forward. And I want you to know that, again, as I said, things move very fast, but we are all learning as we go. Okay. It's just I've taken more interest in this and I want to share with other people. So that's where we are. All right. So starting off, going back, what's ChatGPT? So ChatGPT is, a state-of-art language processing model that can generate human-like text, translate languages, summarize text, answer questions, and perform other language-related tasks. And this was created by OpenAI organization, like I said. And what is this organization? This organization, it's an American leading artificial intelligence research organization that has developed several AI applications. We'll go over those a bit later. What I want to stress though is AI didn't just start with this organization. AI has been out there. I think we know, all of us, some tools that have been using AI. Microsoft is one of them, actually, if to be fair. And if you remember, for example, in Word, Microsoft Word, we used to have that little, click thing that was yellow. It would be at the top and it would tell you what maybe the grammar is wrong or something is wrong and things like that. Eventually, Microsoft took it away. But the point is that, this has been around. Currently, there are also many apps that we know that, for example, help with, grammar, with writing, copy, and things like that. So this, has really been out there. I think why this has become more popular compared to the others is because they gave it for free, at least for us, to play around with it, learn it. But they did that in order to, which is the next slide, because they wanted feedback from people. And also, I think, like we said, they started, like I said earlier, they did start as a community, for the community. So it was all free. The people involved, I won't go into the details, but the people involved are people that have founded other companies and exited with really big payouts. So this is something that was like a pet project for them. So they really sponsored with a lot of money. But as you know, there are many, many expenses, getting developers and all the people that have to work on this. And so I think that's when they brought in a partner like Microsoft. And I'll talk about that as you can see this slide. So uh, the history on GPT itself specifically is that, oops, let's go back. The initial release of the ChatGPT version 3.3 was on November 30th last year. And oh my God, things blew up. If any of you know, maybe you don't, but you may know, within like 5 days, there already a million users, It kind of went off like wildfire. So the reason actually they started it, like I said, it was done as a research preview and it's provided for free. What they wanted to do was to learn how the customers use the application to get feedback and then to use also that feedback in order to improve the application. So that's why for it just blew up compared to some of the other apps. And also some of the other apps that are currently present, all of them are a SaaS product. In other words, they're provided for a fee for us to use, and there's a monthly fee. Some are not cheap, so to say, and some could be a bit maybe more reasonable, but there are many out there. It's just that these people blew up, I think because also they came and splashed all over, depending on who was behind this, like I said, and then also the fact that it was free. And it did a lot of things at this juncture in life. And I think we all know it's really changed a lot of things. it's actually, I think, a precipitation that has brought out all these layoffs within the tech industry, especially the FANG companies. So if you don't know, the FANG companies, FAANG, the companies that are considered like the biggest tech companies. So F stands for Facebook, A Apple, A Amazon, N Netflix, and then also Google. Those are the main ones. But of course, there are other big ones, but those are the main ones that are known. They call FANG. So you've seen that all of them have literally laid off people. Google, I think we heard, was probably among the last few ones. Not the last, of course, other companies are still laying off people. But the point is that they're among the last that did this. Why? Because they realize also that this ChatGPT might impact them. Many people are now using it. I'm one of them. You find the answer right there rather than like when we went to Google, you had to go research several articles or several things, different ones, and then put your information together. If you're researching something, this one you can just enter your prompt, and then it spits out whatever information. Now, there is also, a disclaimer. It says sometimes not everything might be right, especially if it's after 2021, because they had to aggregate a lot of data in order to do this machine learning for the artificial intelligence, which is how artificial intelligence really works, is they have to collect a lot of data and teach the machine what, it should answer or what is out there already. Okay. So going back to here, they did learn a bit more. And this was done in partnership with Microsoft. Microsoft joined them in 2019, 2021. But I had this had actually really started almost way back, like in 2016 or a little bit back further than that. So point being that, again, this has taken a long time. It's been a long time coming. It wasn't, something that just jumped out, right away. They've been working on this for some time. So talking about Microsoft, Microsoft, again, has become a partner for them. It's their biggest partner. It infuses quite a bit of money, I think some billion. I don't know if it was 1 billion, but something like that. And then what happened is all of this has been added to the Microsoft's application that's called Microsoft Azure. And that Microsoft Azure is actually a public cloud platform. Okay. It's like Amazon Cloud, if you all have heard of it. That's what that is. And if you've seen also, if your Windows are not Mac, if your laptop or computer or whatever uses Windows, I think you've seen lately, because I've seen that, at the bottom right-hand side, you see that Microsoft now shows a little, cloudy thing, showing that they're saving whatever it is in the cloud, or they'll show you some kind of prompt that there's a cloud there. Something to do with the cloud anyway. That's all I'm trying to say. So I think they've really brought it forward, and they're using that. So throughout this presentation, I will post it. People can download it. That'll be fine. But what happens is I've added, different links to where people can go and read more about what it is that I'm talking about. So one of them is here. You can read more about their partnership here. All right. So then what has happened? What are some of the updates that have been made to ChatGPT? These updates, some of them started, again, they wanted to learn, and they started January 16th. And those ones were called the API capability. So what is API? An API is really an application programming interface. That's why API acronym stands for. And it's simply a way of combining or interfacing, as they call it usually in the tech world, two or more programs together. In other words, one program starts from somewhere, then it interfaces into another, and then another, and something like that. And an example of this, where they use a lot of this, is where they use Zapier, for example. If you've heard of Zapier, guys, That's one of them, where you create a zap, as they call it. A zap is almost like a notification where you've created where you've created a rule where it says, if you do this, if you get this, so this happens, do this. And then Zapier will send that message to some other application, and it will do whatever it is that has been programmed for it to do. Okay, so one of the examples I wanted to give here is, for example, if you want to get from one application to the other, Zoom, for example. Zoom, if many of you have an account with Zoom, and also I think if you don't, but you've been invited, for example, you're in the audience, you may see that, I'm not sure if on the audience side, because I have an account, but you may see that now Zoom actually has a bar on the right-hand side where it presents to us different applications that we can add to our account to help us, with the experience, to make it better, to make things better, however we want. So one of them is a transcription app. They used to have Order, now they've added more. So what happens is, if you can put Zoom, and then as you're talking, okay, it creates a transcript of what it is that I'm saying, like everything I'm saying. And then afterwards, we can go in and provide that transcript to people, for those who want to read, who may not maybe want to use video, or who may not even have access to video, or things like that, to share that. So that's a good example. So coming from Zoom into that transcription app, that is what's called an interface in between. So, there's usually some protocols that happen that will translate from one app to the other to allow those messages to go from one to the other. All right, so what happened is that two APIs were created by OpenAI. Remember, OpenAI is the company. API is the application programming interface, as I indicated it here. Okay. So what is the difference? So the first one, first of all, what are they? The first one is the OpenAI API. That's the company that originally started this. They've created their own interface to allow for that interface. The second one is their biggest partner, which is Microsoft Azure. And I want to talk about what the two differences are. So first of all, what is the OpenAI API? Let's define that. So OpenAI API is applied virtually to, can be applied virtually to any task that involves understanding or generating natural language or code. It is for the normal everyday person to use. So if you have had a chance to use the ChatGPT, if you haven't, I've included the link to that. You just go and create an account. I think you love it. And I gave an example here. I created a screenshot in my account where I gave an example. I just asked, what is GPT? And literally it spits out the information. Now, there was a longer information, but all I wanted was the very first one. So I've only included this one. But it gives a lot of information, about what it is that you're asking it. You can ask it anything. Sometimes you may say, I don't know, or the prompt may not be conducive to give you a good answer. So that is what you may get. You may generate an error, or I'm not able to get what it is you want, or give me a context, things like that. But this one, I asked what GPT is, and as you can see, it says it's a conversational AI model developed by OpenAI. It's a variant of the GPT. GPT is generative pre-trained transformer language model, okay, which was trained on a massive corpus of text data to generate human-like responses to natural language queries. A little bit technical, but that's what it is in a nutshell, okay? And then what happened is that, they've opened it up right now, where people can sign up. I'm going to talk about it. There's a version where now people can sign up if they want to get some more benefits than what the rest of us are getting. Actually, everyone was having this for free. So what we've been getting for free? Some of the benefits, as you know, has been that, some of the issues have been the servers. I mean, this is being used all the world over. So you can imagine that it needs a lot of servers to keep that data. And when you use it, actually, we get it, it kind of keeps what you've asked because it wants to use that to learn, for example, what you may want in the future. At times it may reference that. So if you had a chance to go in there, you see on the left-hand side, all the conversational prompts that you've asked it are saved and are shown there, okay? If you haven't, you'll see it once you sign up. So this is the link to that form. They created an application wait list for the updated version, which I'll talk more a bit later. But what does this mean? So what this means is that they're opening up applicants who want to use the API Plus. I should have added Plus there. And why is that? The API Plus, these are some of the benefits. Within the form, sorry, they ask you this. What you can use this for is that, I'm sorry, this is for the OpenAI API, not OpenAPI Plus, excuse me. What you can use this for is that you will, this is for people who may want to build a new product. It may be for people who want to integrate into an existing product, people who want general exploration, just explore if you can do anything with it, and also academic research. So these are the 4 categories they give once you open this form. I'm sorry, this is for OpenAI API, not OpenAI Plus, okay? That's the difference. So if you want the OpenAI API, there's so many. That's why it can get confusing. This is where you go. The form you click on here. Let me see if I click on it, what it does. So this is how it looks actually, just so you know. It gives you the first name, last name, and what you want to use that. And then you can join the wait list. Okay. So as you see here, they're very, very adamant about safety. Why? Because there's so many reasons that someone can use this maliciously. It's AI, and people can use it malicious. Some people, I'm not saying everyone, can use it maliciously. So that's why it's that. You can go and check around in your own time. I'm not going to click on that, but these are some, let me just click on that. Okay, so you see. But when you go in, it's a lot of technical stuff. So that's why I wasn't clicking on that. But it shows you what can be done. So those are some of the things. It's pretty technical at this point when you go beyond that, but it's up to you. You don't have to sign or you can sign. I'm just really providing information for those that might be interested. Okay. So as I go back here, those are the use cases. All right. For anyone that may need that. So moving on, number 2, the second API is called the Microsoft Azure OpenAI, API. Okay. And this one, what the difference with the Microsoft version is that it actually works on a bigger scale. But also in addition, there's some things that they're adding there. So it's going to be a paid service. Like I told you, it's like Amazon Cloud, if you've heard of cloud. And also if you use Microsoft in anything, we already pay a fee. So it may be integrated within that because already it's here. Okay, so what it is, it brings the different OpenAI language models at a larger scale with enterprise level security, compliance, and regional availability. These include other API languages like the GPT-3, Codex, Embedding, and DALL-E. Okay, so what are some of these? I will not go into all the details of this, but this is what I do know. This is the chat one, which talks to us. Codex mostly will be for technical people, developers. I'm not a developer anymore, so I don't do development. I can look at the language sometimes and tell, but there are so many programming languages. So I'm not really an expert, I'll say. The one I was an expert is mostly healthcare. And it's a different language. It's not used so much primarily elsewhere, um, except mostly in healthcare. It's the, base for healthcare and also I think financial services from what I do remember. The other one is embedding and then DALL-E. DALL-E is actually from text to image, creates images. All right. So the application waitlist is here. I've provided that, request access to Azure OpenAI. Here, I went through the process just to test it out myself. Let me click on it so you see. And this is how it looks. Request access to Azure OpenAI service. It's pretty detailed because they want to make sure that people are not, the person going to use it is not going to use it for the wrong reason. And you fill in your name. You fill in, I think they give you a subscription IDs. Here they'll show you if it's approved or not. I see that application will be denied. And so on and so forth. Okay, it's a long one, actually. And I don't blame them, because they they need to make sure that things are used properly, but then also I think to understand what it is that people are going to use it for, because it will probably help them in the future. One of the things though that I'll say is that, as I was going through this process, I didn't apply to it, but I stepped through it to see how and what it is that they need. They will link it to your LinkedIn application. So if you're someone who is interested in the Microsoft Azure account for OpenAI or API, you will need to have a LinkedIn account because they're going to link to that. Literally takes you there, and you have to log into your LinkedIn account. I think it's a way for them to ensure that they have it. Probably they're taking on the back end a kind of picture of your LinkedIn account just to make sure that you're who you are, and you live where you are. I think we know, like, for example, what has happened in the past. So they're making sure it's not a bot, you're an actual person to see a picture or something like that. So that's the reason. Okay. So that's the link. So what does this mean? These are mainly, this is mainly also for technical startup founders and also technical people. That's what this is for. Compared to the other one, the OpenAI, which is, usually for us, the mere mortals, the normal people. That's not a bad thing, by the way. And this would be for people who mostly are going to use, programming and things like that. Here I said link to the Founders Hub application also. What happens is also they have a big push. This is being linked to the Founders Hub, the AI. So sorry, the Azure itself. The Microsoft, even before this created, had apparently a Founders Hub. So they've created that. And for anyone who wants, because the plan is that they want to help people that are going to start technical companies that involve, I think it's not necessarily always going to be technical, but founders. Somehow I didn't know actually that even Microsoft had a hub or a way of them helping and working with founders, but I found that, and so I put it here. Let me just show you how it looks. So here is where it is. Take the first step, then you apply through LinkedIn. So I was showing here. And so, that is something that they'll need, just so you know. So you have to have a LinkedIn account. Okay. Okay. So next. Like I said before, Microsoft became Microsoft and OpenAI, they're very aware that some people may misuse this AI. I think we've had some, if you're someone who's been following this, you may have had some people's concern. If you're not, that's fine, okay? But there have been people, out there saying some concerns. A big part of this is in education, people, the students, cheating, so to say, using AI to find answers to things. But then also other uses that people may misuse. So those are some of the things. I won't go into details of them here, but I've created a link where they list some of the things that they know could be misused. Also, where the AI may not work in the best interest of the community. For example, biasness, that is something they've talked about. And then also the fact that some populations or some people may not have access to AI to use this ChatGPT. Okay. And so that they're disadvantaged compared to others that might be. So, and many others, but these are some of the examples. So, what are some of the misuses? OpenAI is aware of the misuse, and so it's the reason why they're doing the waitlist applications for people trying to do, I think, some background checks and things like that, and ensure that these, anyone applying is not a scrupulous person and that they want to know what you're going to use it for. Okay. So a report was released about the study of how someone can misuse the AI, and you can find it here. This is where it is. This is it, forecasting potential misuses of language models. I'm going to just scroll down, but we're not going to go through it. So there's more information under each of these, but these are some of the things. Okay. So how could influence operations, actors, behaviors, content, critical unknowns. They also are very open about what they might not know, but they do know that some of these are there. They give what they've tried to do as far as mitigations. And these are some of the things that they've tried at least to, is it desirable to, work on and talk about. And they've worked with really very people leading people in the industries, especially within AI, but then also within technology. As you can see here, report authors. These are people from different universities, Georgetown, and also employees within OpenAI, as you can see here. There was Department of State, Longview Philanthropy, Stanford, Georgetown University. So they've really tried and to bring in different voices to make sure that they're listening to what might be out there. Okay, so this is slide two of also misuses. The big one really that has come out of this is education. It's not the only one, but it's the biggest one. And the concern for students using AI for classwork. But what has happened is actually OpenAI has created a tool that will help anyone who is in charge or anyone who wants to know information that has been generated by AI or has been really human written. So that is something that they're going to, they've helped to create a tool. There's also another tool, I haven't included it here, but I do know because this was very, very early on. And this guy was a student, I forget, was it Michigan? I forget the university, but he started it as a really a side project, just, going his own way. He finished it really as an MVP, like a minimal viable product is an MVP, and posted it online. I was reading the story. That's why I know about it. And next day he comes, his account had blown up. He posted it, I think, on Twitter. His account had blown up. He was being contacted by, major media, reporters, Reuters, CNN, and all of those asking him about it. He was just doing a side project to help, again, detect any content that's AI produced versus human. I wondered that, okay, should we really, I understand, but if this was created, why are we being policed by it? But it's not. The context is that for areas of people that may need to use those tools, that's where that is, okay? Mostly education. So if you're someone who creates content, for example, and really it's helpful, I don't think that's a problem. But me, I have to say I've used ChatGPT, but what I've found is that you always have to also retouch that content. You have to add your a personality to it because sometimes the context may be not what it is you want to convey. So no matter what, if you really are someone who's creating content to copy, you may have to add to it. Okay, just so you know. All right. So the AI classifier is what it's called. And here's more information about that tool. I'm going to click on it again so you see. I think wherever you see this, that's by them. The new AI classifier for indicating AI written content. That's where it is. This is all the, content about that. They talk about it. However, to go to the tool itself, this is where you go. You have to sign in. I think on this side, I'm not in. I'm not on this side, but on, let me see, another window, if I have it. Let's see. Okay. I think it won't really bring me here, but let me go back here. Oh, okay. So what you'll do is you need to try the classifier. It really is actually very short, and what it does, it has an open window where you can paste the text there, and then it will spit out and tell you if it's AI or human produced. So that's really what it is. Okay. So educator considerations, still the limitations for AI classifier are known. And negative impacts of AI are also listed within that text that I showed you. There's a longer version. And they are made known in the report that's found here. This report was made specifically for educators, educator consideration, so that they know what it is. As you can see here, learn about that, the help center, and then again the AI text classifier. I don't want to enter it here because let me see. Let me show you. All right, so this is how it looks. AI text classifier. It's really a simple tool. You get your text and you paste it here. And or document, they say. I don't think you can attach it. I think you have to paste it here, document text here. And then it will show you whether human, AI generated. Sometimes it may misclassify it. But this is a result. This is where you get your result. Okay. Once you paste your text in here, you submit it, and then it will give you the result. And then there's more information here. So that's what that is. Okay. So moving on. So we come to the most exciting part. The most exciting part that I really, really was dying to talk about is they've added what they call the ChatGPT Plus. This was effective yesterday, and it's going to be, and what is it exactly? It's a pilot subscription plan for GPT Plus, a conversational AI that can chat with you, answer follow-up questions, and challenge incorrect assumptions. The subscription cost is $20 a month. This is way, way less than many of the AI apps that I know are out there, AI SaaS apps, like Jasper, for example, Jasper.ai. They cost a bit more. In fact, Jasper is like $80. And then there are two versions. I mentioned Jasper. I'm not picking on it. I'm just mentioning it. Why? Because it's a well-known AI app for content writing. It helps people. And it's 80, and I think there's another one, another fee that's higher, which is the enterprise level. Okay. So that's why I'm saying I think this is a bit more fair, but they may have to do some adjustments probably from for other countries. But here's the thing, the free version is going to be there, and I'll get to that a bit later. It's going to stay. So what are the benefits if you sign up for this? They say general access to ChatGPT even during peak hours. So why is this? If you've someone who has used this GPT, or if you haven't, you'll find out during especially the day, if you try to use it, you're going to error out many times because it's not accessible. Okay, it may tell you not accessible, or sometimes it will error out. I think because of the number of people using it. In the beginning, it was saying it's not accessible at this time. The volume is so big. Right now, me currently, I'm mostly getting errors. So then I hop off of it or go in and get out and re-log in, really literally from the beginning. And then I can get in, and sometimes I may not. Okay. But that's what it is. It's a kind of a try and error, but it mostly works. When it works well. I think they're trying the best they can. That's hence this, and I think I'll talk about it, where they say this fee is to really help with the costs, especially servers, and maintaining those servers and everything else. Okay, so also faster response times. If someone who has tried out the GPT, you will know that when you type in, it's going to pause a little bit. It's thinking, and then it spits out whatever it will give you. Okay. It's not a long pause. I don't know, maybe 30 seconds, depending on what it is that you asked. So then the third will be there'll be priority access for new features and improvements. Well, I guess we won't get that. So I think what will happen is they put new improvements. Like now how they gave it for free and people tested it out and they got feedback and things like that. What will happen, they'll instead test it out on the people who are on the paid subscription and have them give them feedback. And then if it's something they want to release to the free version people, then they'll release it to, to the rest of the other accounts that's free. And where is it available? Currently, it's only available for the US. And they say for now, because they want to get feedback for improvements before they open it up to additional countries and regions. So that's what's going on. So if you're someone outside of the US, this may not be available right now. All right. So they've opened up a subscription wait list for this. Usually it's a wait list. I think it's really to find out the interest and probably any feedback they may get. So if you click on here, you go to the wait list. I'll show it to you. It's really as simple as you can see. It's a simple Google form. Nothing big, nothing special, just a Google form. Okay. And it's very short. As you can see, email me. Plus is available. They'll email you what are you using it for. Is it personal and all of that. So what country are you located? If your country is not listed below, please select another. So let's see. They mostly have all the countries in the world. I think they want to find out where probably the need outside of the USA might be before they release it to other countries. So that's where it is. So if you're someone interested in this and can pay, I don't know if they will, it's called price, I forget what it is. When they reduce the prices for regions where $20 might be very expensive, they probably might do that. So again, if you're interested, do feel free to fill it out. Because even though you're in a country where $20 is a lot, more than probably other countries, they may gauge that to, it's called price disparity. I've remembered. So I've learned actually out there that some of the people that I follow, some of the courses I've bought, mentors who mentor me through their courses, they have allowed for price disparity, whereby they reduce the prices for certain countries, to be fair, because $20 is a lot in other countries compared like to the USA. Even the USA, it's a lot. Not everyone has $20 lying around. Some people might have, some may not. But the point I'm trying to say is it's a lot in other countries. So that price disparity, they may integrate that within this and probably price it less than what they're asking for some of the countries that can afford it. Okay, so that's where we are. How about the free plan? So they indicated that we love our free users and we continue to offer free access to ChatGPT. By offering this subscription, however, the subscription pricing, we're able to help support free access availability to as many people as possible. So I think you can see this is what I was saying. They wish they could do it, but they have to get paid because they have to take care of bills. Okay, it's just what it is. All right. Next, I wanted here to give you some of the other apps that have been developed by OpenAI. Some of these actually, in fact, I think all of them except API. Um, except the API were developed even before the GPT, this one. So for those that were not following, I think I'm grateful, because if it wasn't, I wasn't really following this. I just knew that, AI applications or apps out there, and many were, they're quite a bit, they cost quite a bit monthly fee, or if you pay yearly, it's also a bit much. And so when GPT came, the chat GPT, and it was free, it was really accessible to many people. So the upside has been that it's helped people to get to know what some of the other apps are that have been out there. So you can read through this, what each is used for. This is the one we're talking about, the GYM, OpenAI GYM. It's a toolkit for developing and comparing reinforcement learning algorithms. Again, this is to develop AI agents industry. This would be more, again, also technical people. The DALL-E 2 is AI-powered image generation model. So they usually say from text to image. Sometimes it be text to voice or voice to text. Either way, that is what they mostly mean. And you can go in the prompt and you type in what you want. I'll provide this in the future. I'll also do some presentations of what some prompts are, and also some of the known additional actually prompts we can add on to get the best view. Because I've played around with some of these, not daily yet. I played with one called Midjourney, and you have to really try and enter really detailed prompts in order to get a good image, because some of the images are not really the best. And some, it's AI, it's not a human. It may seriously create an image, for example, of a human with, I don't know, 10 hands or fingers, sorry, not hands, but fingers, or even more than one arm, or things like that. So, you learn to create prompts that really help you. However, there's still photographs up there, and Splash and all the free, photographs you can find when you Google, they're still out there, so we can still use them. You don't have to use this, but if you someone who wants to play around with it, those are the opportunities. Clip is a model that can understand and reason about images and text, and can perform tasks such as image captioning and vision question answering. I haven't tried that. I didn't even know about it. I just got to know when I search for more apps that have been created by OpenAI. And then OpenAI API. This is the most current one. And this is the one, that we can also use. Again, this is if you're someone who wants to create apps, you don't have to use it. It's usually for people who want to create apps and things like that for integration. All right. Then I created a resource page where I wanted just to give a central place where you can find links. So OpenAI, if you want to read about it, go here. Hopefully I don't cram up my page. I'm just clicking on each so you know what is there. So here it is, and you can read up on what else is there. You can find up on this, all of this information. There's the pricing. Let's see the pricing here. I think this is pricing for different things. So it says contact sales. I'm not sure what that is. Okay, so it takes me again to sign up into something. But I just wanted to show you that. I'm gonna just get out of all of this, because when you have too many windows. Okay. ChatGPT sign-in, also this, I've shown you already how it is, so you can get to the subscription waitlist. This is the link to it. I showed you that earlier. Then if you want to build the next gen of apps, OpenAI powerful models, these are some of those, if you want to see them. Okay, give me one sec. All right. And then OpenAI, again, these are people who are going to develop things, introduction OpenAI. This is really a read up, just a read up on that. You can go here, read up tutorial and things like that. OpenAI other modules overview. It shows you some of the other modules if you want. Embeddings, this is more technical and other things. Train a model for your use case. All right, so those are the one links. And some of the more technical stuff. So here I wanted to present to you use cases, what some of this has been used for. As an example, this, by the way, I got from their website. So I didn't come up with this. So it's from their website directly where they show this. So OpenAI embedding module. This, again, is new and improved embedding module. And I'm going to just go to it. I think you see the theme here. In as far as branding, right? They have OpenAI here, then it talks about what the application is, and then you can click and get more information. So this is the same case for embedding. What have they used embedding for? Specifically, I use because that's where they give some good examples. Example use case for OpenAI here, integrations. Here I just wanted to send people to see where it's used. They're showing, someone wrote this up actually. Microsoft and Microsoft, their logo, and then also OpenAI, that's their logo. So one of them, if you go further down here, I think it's a video. Well, what happened? Okay. Anyway, you can read into this and see what is out there. But there was one where I had a video. I thought it was this one, but it's not. However, if you read that, you see it. You can get an example of where that is. Okay. And, this particular blog site, it talks about I'm sorry, I don't know what. It talks about some other things, so you can read here what other things you want if you want to, learn some of the other items. So, but the use case of one of these, what this was actually, it was showing how it was a video on YouTube, and it was showing how, for example, a basketball game was going on, and they were able to generate whatever the person was talking about. So this is where you have voice to text. Okay, it created that as a transcription, almost really a transcription, and then the people are able to copy that and actually create a document and either send it out or share it or things like that. That's where that is. So that was really the use case where they show that voice to text. Sometimes it's text to voice, but this was voice to text. So the announcers and people who are talking in the background with the games going on, and it creates the text very quickly, like a transcript of what's being said, and then that can be shared essentially. That's what that was. The other one was using Calendar. Calendar.ai is a lead generation tool. If you're someone who, excuse me, is in business and you're looking for leads, that's what it does. So I'm going to just click on it quickly here. This is what it is. Book new revenue on autopilot with AI. Wow. Okay. So how does it work? I'm going to just go on here. This is how it works. I'll just click through. Hopefully you can see that. Then bam, it finds those matches. Then number 2, it sends personalized invitations. This is how it does that. I haven't tried it. I just thought it was amazing. And then 3, calendar page stories with one-click meeting slots. So someone can go in and book a meeting slot with you, and you have your meeting. That's where that is, one-click meeting slots. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to just scroll down and show you our technology outreaches to your next customer and inbound them. So if you're in marketing, this is what that is for. Your marketing and sales, actually, sorry, marketing and sales and finding the people. It auto does this for you. Machine learning powered audience sourcing, again, it's been taught, and so it will help you to source the audience. It help you to source leads for you. That's what that is. As you can see, like it talks to them and then it sends it. And then you get a bell. The bell is like, you get a notification that the person has either read it or they're maybe contacting you. You start booking now. Okay. The next one in your workflow is going to integrate this Calendly, Salesforce, and then HubSpot. So the next, on the other side, it combines calendar and the data. Chili Pepper, not used it. Intercom is a bot really that answers on your website. People who have questions or things like that. That's what Intercom is. And then Slack, I think is also communication. It's almost like a team app where people communicate with each other. Okay. Then it says start booking. So anyway, and then it gives some of the founders testimonial. But I just wanted to show you what that is. Pay per meeting range, starting at $2.99 for 5 meetings. So you can see what I mean, that some of, these, yeah, they've developed them. They're just not very easy not easy, but they cost quite a bit. So just so you know. However, what happens is that it helps you to contact the people that you want, for example. That's a use case. The next one is Notion. Where is it? Use online space to improve keyword. So this is for a CRM called Notion, but actually it's a workspace app because you can use it for everything without getting out of it. So it has most everything. Some of those that workspace applications include, for example, Notion, ClickUp, Zoho, where you find like everything is really within that. They've created what they call a work OS. Oh, sorry, a workspace OS, a workspace operating system. You find everything there. Email, it integrates even with your Microsoft email, other email. So that's this kind of application, but they give an example here of Notion. I think that's the one they've used so far. So this is how Notion looks like. You can go in and do a lot of things in Notion. Your projects roadmap. So projects, I think these are the boards they're showing, and several different things really that you can do for that. Okay. And then here I show you really exactly, this literally is copied from the AI website. That's what they gave us. So you can read more about what I just talked about. A sales outreach product uses that Notion. Same thing here. And you get that information. Okay. Okay. So having said that, if you have any questions, this wasn't live, but if you have any questions, reach out to me. Feel free to reach out to me. I also wanted just to share with anyone who is interested in the healthcare innovation field. When I said that you may be in healthcare, just what new things are coming. I'll give you an example. For example, these are the very good to know. And I mean, because I know about this because I'm in this space. A good example is telehealth. I think we know telehealth blew up after the pandemic and they had to allow people to use it. So they're fighting to really keep it present because there are different forces that may not want telehealth to continue. One of them is the insurance companies, because they're saying it has to be in person to ensure that, someone actually, visited a doctor, provider visited a patient, but it's really been very convenient. That's one. The second use case has been for providers, doctors, nurses, or whoever, therapists, that they have been able to reach actually many more people. And also, for example, no-shows, people not showing up to their appointments in person have been reduced when they use telehealth because it's more accessible. Someone doesn't have to get up, especially if someone maybe needs help. Either they are older, a senior, or someone has a disability. It's really a lot to get up, and some of them have to get like an ambulance or a special car to take them, and it adds up in terms of pricing. Another causes. So those have been some of the upsides. The other thing has been, like, for example, telehealth, adding more patients for providers, and providers, some of them actually being able to provide services beyond their state here in the US. And I think even it's the equivalent of other countries, like a provider just doesn't decide to provide services to patients in another country because they may have different rules around healthcare. So it's the same thing here. If a provider needs to provide services outside, they have to get special permissions. There's some states where it's easier than others. I live here in Connecticut in the Northeast, and the states are smaller. They're also closer to each other compared, like, say, for example, Texas. I used to live there. It's a very big state. You travel 4 hours, you're still in the same state. Here you can travel 1 hour. Connecticut being small, I can be in how many neighboring states? I can be in about 3 different states that neighbor here. So there's what they call a tri-state area here, which is Connecticut, New York, and New Jersey. You find that many providers, not all, but some providers can provide services in those other states. So it's really helped them to expand that. So if you're one of those people, let me know, sign up here. I'm gonna start a newsletter that will be dropping soon or will be launching soon. So if you're interested, do sign up. I've included the link here. And don't be alarmed with the link. It's just a landing page, okay, that will collect those emails, and then it puts them into my email list. It adds them to the email list. It's a landing page by ConvertKit. That's why you see CK here. But this is how their generated URLs are, or website address. It's a bit of a step for me to go and change it, into what I want it to be, but we'll start there. So if you're someone interested in learning new innovations coming up, please do sign up. And along the path of telehealth, for example, one of the things I learned because I attended a conference for telehealth is that some hospitals have the ability to use Bluetooth, whereby they'll have the patient take their vital signs, and then they immediately imported into their electronic chart within the system of their EHR, which is the electronic health record. So those are some of the new things that could be really helpful for you as a provider or someone who works in healthcare. But there'll be more than that. But I'm giving an example that's very practical. Okay. So I invite you to sign up. Link on here. I'm gonna put this up, and you'll be part of the people getting the newsletter. Okay. It's called iHealth Hub, the brief. In other words, it's going to be brief. You're not going to be inundated with a lot of reading. There'll be just the template is that we having different categories. So if someone is interested in a different one, you'll find information there. This is going to be curated from around the world because we all learn from each other, other countries, not just the US, even though I'm based here in the US. Okay. So this is the Q&A. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me a DM, an email, anything. And this is my contact information. Again, what are some of the services I provide? I provide project management, and then project management training, healthcare digital implementation. One of them is telehealth. If you need help with that, I'll definitely help you with that, coming up with a strategy for your practice. And then also healthcare digital marketing solutions. Also, we help with that. So content marketing, if you want to create, for example, for your blog or for your services, because that also attracts people to you for your practice or anything like that. We do either ghostwriting or we write the content for you. And really also not just writing, but I consult with you. I've been a consultant. So I will really be your partner and talk to you. We work together to come up with a good strategy. whereby it will work for you and you get more patients, hence more customers or clients who are called patients in your case, that will come to your practice. Okay, so those are the things. And also, if you have telehealth and are looking to market yourself out there, let me know and we can, we can help you with that. This is my contact information. Again, my name is Rachel Kaiser. M. Kaiser. The email is this one. I've left spaces because I've gotten emails lately where people I know they're scraping them from online. There are different tools out there that scrape emails. So please remove the spaces when when you're sending me an email. Just have it consult at Gmail. I hope you understand. That's the reason. And then sign up to join my newsletter in the newsletter that I talked about earlier. So thank you very much for listening and for joining. I hope this was helpful. Any questions, let me know. Again, thank you. Bye-bye.